Today, I know I sound down already. Today, we're going to review the new movie on Amazon Prime, War of the Worlds, starring Ice Cube, and it is by far Ice Cube's worst movie. I know I'm already kind of giving spoilers, and it's terrible. Like, you will not like this movie at all. It is by far it is probably the dumbest, the worst shot, the worst written, the worst everything. The entire movie, and I'm not even looking at my notes. Well, I'm looking at my notes, but I can't even look at my notes and tell you about this because it's that bad. The entire movie is shot just how you're seeing me right now on a computer screen, just throwing up images, him talking to his kids in the movie, his friend, co-workers, and all that stuff like that. But this movie is clearly it's a travesty. It's a alien invasion that meets lo-fi filmmaking. It is lo-fi filmmaking and storytelling. The storytelling was some of the most basic storytelling, the weakest storytelling. It was terrible. It is what you would probably consider a star-studded cast. You have Ice Cube, Eva Longoria, Clark Gregg played Phil Coulson on Agents of Shield. A couple other recognizable faces, but for the cast that they have for this movie and what hopefully you guys don't watch, but what I actually sat through the entire thing was not what it was I was expecting. It was straight up trash. So I'm gonna give you guys the movie overview just so you know what it's about, and then I'll just get into what I thought about it. Because this will be, or it should be, pretty quick. Because if you watch this movie like me, please tell me down in the comments what you thought about it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Please come back for more, and I hope to see you soon. So, War of the Worlds 2025. Ice Cube plays a government agent caught in the middle of a global alien invasion. If you guys are not familiar with War of the Worlds, I think it is a book, but it's definitely been several movies. The best one, in my opinion, being the Tom Cruise movie that came out early 2000s, mid 2000s, something like that. But that's the best movie in all of the War of the Worlds. Uh, the first one was the original, but all the ones after the Tom Cruise movie, including this one, even though I don't think it was supposed to be, but it is, were extremely low budget. But this one, I haven't really seen any other one. I've seen bits and pieces of them, but this one is by far the worst, easily the worst in the series. And if you don't think so, let me know. Um, what did I say? So these invaders aren't earth-shattering conquerors. Instead, they're data vampires feeding on humanity's digital footprint, collecting viruses to get smarter. Yes, the aliens in this movie want to get smarter. They're not here to take over the world. They're not here to conquer us or destroy everything or kill everybody or replace us with little android robots or whatever the case may be. No, they're here to collect our data. And apparently they've been working with the government or some shit like that. But yeah, the aliens are here for our data. So quite literally in this movie, you could have just been in the middle of a field, or you really could have sat at your house. And as long as you weren't around some huge government data center, you were good because they really weren't trying to kill anybody. They were just here for our data. So Ice Cube in this movie, what is this? William Radford is his character's name. He's estranged from his kids, even though they both show up in the movie. His wife is dead. Um, Eva Longoria is an FBI agent. Clark Gregg is not the defense secretary, but maybe he's the chief of staff. It doesn't really matter. He's only in the movie for a couple of minutes, quite literally. But the movie mostly unfolds via, like I said, a shaky held hand camera, surveillance footage, and impromptu phone recordings. Which, if you watch the movie, these phone recordings, these teams calls and meetings, and it's very distracting at best. And maybe that was the goal of the movie, to distract us from how bad it was. If they just threw a bunch of shit on the screen and it's just like, oh, let's plop this here, plop this here, plop that there, plop this here. Oh, here's a movie, and we got War of the Worlds 2025. Um, This shit was stupid. So why the movie didn't work? I took this movie because it was that fucking trash. But the script, like I said earlier, easily one of the most basic, predictable scripts. Period. No matter the genre, sci-fi, horror, drama, comedy, you could predict this movie from beginning to end. You knew exactly what was going to happen, when it was going to happen. It wasn't even for a bad movie. It gave me no suspense. I've seen. I just watched a movie on Tubi the other night, Boneface, and I may even talk about that one in another review, just because that was better than this. And that movie was pretty. It was okay, but it was clearly it was easily better than this. It was a much easier watch than this. It was more interesting than this, but the aliens want data, government lies, and so Ice Cube's son in this movie, I don't remember his name, but he's uh originally what they pose as the bad guy, a hacker named Disruptor, and basically he's trying to expose government secrets. Woo woo woo. No, no suspense there because we're used to government secrets wanting to be exposed. So I'm skipping all over the place. I'm sorry. This movie's terrible. But so even at one point in the movie, he joins the quote unquote resistance. The performances in this movie were terrible, so no need talking about that. Even though I took notes on it, the acting is porous. Ice Cube stood in front of a screen, back, forth, side to side. He did try to get out of the building one time though, and when he tried to get out of the building, he ran to a door that was locked, even though he unlocked all the doors in the building. If you he lit did it lit up green on the screen and everything. He unlocked all the doors in the building, but then he went to the door to exit the building, and it was locked. And then he just gave up. He never tried to open it again. He just went back to his computer and sat down, which is why his kids hate him because he's never around. And that's typical because, oh, it's the parent that works too much and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Visual style and production is trash. The visual style, I don't know what the style was or was supposed to be. It's digital cinematography, but it's basically just how I'm talking to you now. This is how the movie was. But just imagine this with just bubbles popping up everywhere. Pop, 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 pop. Teams message, FaceTime call, whatever the case may be. Text messages, everything on one damn screen. Even when he talks to his kids in the movies on FaceTime, obviously, they don't talk to each other. At some point, everybody, no, not everybody. Let me see. The only people that actually meet up in this movie, not in photos in the credits, is the son-in-law or boyfriend or whatever he's supposed to be, and the daughter, because she's pregnant and she hates her dad and she didn't invite him to the baby shower and all that stuff like that. But who gives a shit? Um, Plot points: the alien invasion, feeding on data and viruses to become smarter. Um, it's a fresh take. It's new. I mean, who would have ever thought aliens would come to the world and the only thing they would want is our data? You know, hey, I guess data is king. But the ending of the movie. So the ending of this movie, basically, they figure out how to defeat the aliens by uploading a second virus, but directly into the secret Homeland Security hard drive that's in the basement that Ice Cube's character William Radford, the smartest guy in the room, supposedly doesn't know about because Clark Gregg character just basically went behind his back, started this thing, this surveillance program, government surveillance, overwatching us as usual. But this one was called Goliath, and this is what the disruptor, aka his son, was trying to expose, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But end of the movie basically ended with him getting up from his computer and going to the basement because he is allowed to stay in the building at least. He goes to the basement and he basically fights and crawls his way to insert a hard drive that was flown to him cleverly by the boyfriend or whatever, husband, boyfriend, son-in-law, whatever. Oh, who it just happens to be an Amazon Prime driver. Good marketing there. let's stamp Prime everywhere. And they even said what it was. It's like some type of Prime delivery with what are those things called? What are those damn things called? A drone. Like he delivered basically a portable hard drive with a drone to the Homeland Security building that was getting ready to get blown up by B-12 bombers because they wanted to. Everybody finally figured out that, oh, if we destroy the big hard drive that we're running Goliath through, which is our last source of data, because the aliens actually do take all the data that they can get off the government servers, and it shuts down GPS and stuff like that, which I mean to bring up here. If the aliens at some point in this movie shut everything down, and they do, they collect all the data, everything fails, GPS fails, and you see ships run aground, airplanes falling out the sky, and all that stuff like that. But then it's just like at the end of the movie, while everything is gone, there are B-12 bombers flying to go shoot this building down. Now they made it a point to say in this movie, hey, everything is gone. We can't fight like this anymore. We have to do everything manually. Somebody, please tell me if B-12 bombers are manual jets. I don't know. Please tell me if they are. Then I will rest my case on that one. Maybe the movie is just not that inaccurate. Maybe it's me. But I'm sure they have GPS, but maybe they're manual. But they made it a point in the movie to say that they had to do everything manual. They had a whole scene with soldiers running on the ground with rockets and shit. And don't watch this movie. It's only 90 minutes, but it could have been like 45. It wouldn't have made it any better, but at least it would have been a quicker watch. So, what worked in this movie, if anything? Nothing. But the concept of aliens feeding on human data, it is interesting. I guess you could call that modern sci-fi. It probably would be interesting if it was written better or shot. Nah, not shot better. Well, it does need to be shot better, but maybe that could be more interesting if it was for a reason. They just wanted to take our data, or at least that's what they told us in the movie. They never said, "Oh, they want to take our data, so they blind us and then take over everything." I don't know. I get maybe they want to go shopping on Amazon too, so they want to get everybody's socials and cars or whatever the case may be. And I don't know. The family dynamic, even though it's cliche, I guess it works. It's a father trying to save his kids and all the good stuff like that, even after his wife dies, or they tell us that she's dead. She doesn't die in the movie. Um, and I guess you have the moments of the real world government paranoia, surveillance. People do worry about that. Nobody wants to be watched, all that stuff like that. So I guess that stuff works, but nothing else does. That barely does. If you think it does, if you watch the movie, tell me if you think it does, because I don't think it does. I usually do a chaos checklist in these reviews. Um, this entire movie was chaos, so it was hard to put together a checklist. But the few things that I'll just point out to probably further make you not want to watch this crap is the narrative drags out tremendously in a lot of different scenes. Um, the aliens are poorly designed. The CGI is terrible. The aliens are terrible. Their tripods, everything about the aliens are terrible. The virus upload scene is the second one when the movie ends and they save the world is just shit. It's just a major letdown. Um, Ice Cube's son, and I meant it doesn't matter. I mean, he tried to warn him early in the movie that that he knew why the aliens wanted to come to the Earth and stuff like that, but his son revealed the government lie and all that stuff like that, but then he shuts him down in the movie, like basically told him to shut up, like get the fuck out of here. Um, and then obviously the final scene is the reconciliation with the kids and all that. Then the ending credits rolled, and they all have a picture together. And that's the only time you see him out of the office is in this picture. It could have been photoshopped. Who knows? I'm sure it was. Because why leave your house for this movie? Because you really could have. He could have had somebody build him a studio in his backyard and shoot the shit at home. Um, let's just get to the end of this shit. This is like I said, the Tom Cruise movie is the best one. Um, government overreach, mass surveillance. We all hate that. Whatever. Um, this movie didn't even like do any callbacks to like most remakes do to give like a callback to the original or something. This did none of that. So watch or not, watch or not, watch or not. Hell no. Do not watch this movie. Watch this movie only if you have kids, they're loud, you just want to throw something on TV just to have something on TV. Perfect. Um Going to sleep on an airplane, this would be great. To go to sleep too. You can find better movies to probably fall asleep to, or even put on some white noise. That would probably help. But this would probably be good to sleep to. This would put you to sleep. This would definitely put you to sleep. Do not watch this movie at nighttime like I did. It is a drag to get through. Or if you just want to like have some friends over and watch TV and not really watch TV, but just talk and have fun. This ain't the movie, but if you don't have any plans on actually watching it and you just want to throw something on, here you go. If you're a diehard Ice Cube fan, I doubt you'll like this movie, but check it out. If you're a War of the Worlds fan, I doubt you like this movie, but check it out. And my closing thoughts: alien invasions are still popular, just like zombies, vampires, which have kind of fallen off lately. But zombies, vampires, alien invasions, anything that we're curious about and don't think is real or whatever case will always be somewhat popular. But aliens will definitely always be popular because we're all just waiting or curious or just wondering when that alien invasion is going to happen or aliens are going to just come out and actually tell us that they're here, because I'm sure they're here. Um, I watch a lot of low budget movies. I watch a lot of big budget movies. So it doesn't matter. This movie is terrible. Um, I've seen good low budget movies. I've seen good micro budget movies. I've seen good movies at all levels, and this movie does not meet the criteria as good on any level. Hopefully future installments of this franchise will be better. I'm sure they'll try this again in a few years. Hopefully they don't, or if they do, they hope they pick a better director, writer, producers. Try to make it big budget again, or no, I'm sorry, get a bigger budget so that it looks better. Let's actually make it maybe an action movie or an invasion movie, or just something that's not this. Like go back to the low budget, just straight to Tubi, whatever, Tubi, Freevee, straight to TV. That barely exists anymore. Anything but this shit that we got right here. Thank you all for coming. I'm sorry to bore you with this bullshit ass review. I'm sorry about this movie, but somebody had to watch it so that you don't watch it. Because I'm sure you guys, just like me, said, "Oh, Ice Cube has a movie on Prime that I didn't hear about, didn't see a trailer for or anything, but I saw his face on the Prime when it popped up. I was just like, I might check it out." Then I saw his War of the Worlds, and I was just like, whatever. Didn't watch the trailer. Should have. Probably wouldn't have watched the movie. But then I wouldn't be able to do this for you guys. So that's this review. I'll probably be back with more very soon. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Follow me on YouTube, Twitch, X, everything under the sun. I am here for your needs. Well, no, I'm not. I'm here for your movie needs and your TV needs. Big Brother's on tonight. Looks like Jimmy got evicted, but we knew that was going to happen. Maybe I'll do some TV stuff too. I like Big Brother. I like other TV shows. But thank you guys for coming. Like, comment, subscribe. See you next time. Bye.